Everyone. So Los Angeles Lakers got a huge break yesterday thanks to the San Antonio Spurs. The Denver Nuggets ended up sitting their entire starting five and still looked like they might have won that game on several occasions. But at the end of the game, the San Antonio Spurs were able to execute down the stretch, get the job done, and ended up beating the Denver Nuggets, which is huge for the Lakers because we got a game back-to-back, right? Against the Golden State Warriors, who you have to beat, and then also the New Orleans Pelicans, right? If the Lakers win those two games, the Lakers will be in great shape and solidify control of the 3 seed, right? They would have a full game on the Denver Nuggets at that point, plus the tiebreaker, so it's really like 2 full games, and you'd have 5 games left, and the Nuggets have a tough schedule coming up. Nuggets have a bunch of tough games, and kind of feels to an extent like Denver's just kind of looking at it and going like, hey, we're fine with the 4 seed, right? But also it's very positive. I mean, they could fall to the 5 or 6 seed depending on how things shape up. So, but I imagine Denver's probably in the 4 or 5 range at worst, which, maybe that's what they want. Maybe they're comfortable with that, right? Maybe they're okay with that type of matchup, where they maybe play a Minnesota. Well, they might not want to play Minnesota. Minnesota has had their number. Right. Last thing you want to do is like have the Warriors end up moving into like the 4 spot and then, they end up falling or get the 4 spot and then Minnesota getting the 5 spot or something, because that's a tough matchup for them. And it's kind of had their number. But regardless, however it shapes up, still a lot of games left, still a lot of possibilities, still a lot of potential from the Lakers and several other teams. Lakers are still within reach of the 2 seed. Houston continues to win, and we need them to lose another game. Plus, we need to beat them again. If we beat them again, and they end up losing another game, then Lakers at worst would finish in a tie, assuming the Lakers handle their business on their end, and then we would end up getting the 2 seed. However, I don't want the 2 seed. I've talked about this. I want the 3 seed. Right, because I just think the 3 seed puts you in the best shape. You're probably playing the Warriors potentially or the Minnesota Timberwolves, both teams in which I do believe the Lakers can beat in a 7-game series. I like the matchups in both. Obviously, Rudy Gobert might be a little bit of a problem, but he's not this like huge offensive threat. The Warriors are the team that I really want to play in the first round of the playoffs, just because they're the only team, and I understand that they have Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. I get it. No one wants to see Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry in a 7-game series. Nobody, right? But no one wants to see LeBron James and Luka in a 7-game series either. And the Lakers would have the 3 best players on the basketball court every night, right? Like Luka would be the best player. LeBron is the second best player. Like LeBron's better than Jimmy Butler. And then Austin Reeves is better than whatever third guy that they have, Pods or whomever, right? So I like the Lakers' chances in a Warriors matchup. And they're the only team that doesn't have the interior size to give us trouble. They're the only team that doesn't have the interior size to really bother us. And I think LeBron and Luka will at least match Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, which means you just need Austin Reeves to outpace whoever that is, and then the role guys step up, which I trust Dorian Finney-Smith, Gabe Vincent, right, Jordan Goodwin, guys like that, just being able to pester and just give Steph as much trouble as possible. But however it shapes up, I do think the 3 seed is the best spot for the Lakers. I think that that's something that kind of they get to settle in. They would play Houston in the second round. Now, even if you finish 2 seed, you play Houston in the second round. But 2 seed, depending on who ends up with the 7 seed, you could end up having a tough matchup, right? We'll see what happens with the Grizzlies or something like that. So, again, I like Lakers' chances with anybody in the bottom of those seedings. But I really am comfortable with the 3 seed. I think, there's like 3 teams that are likely to fall in that 6 seed, and I like the Lakers matchup against all of them. So I'm really comfortable in that space, in that spot. You get that, play Houston in the second round, and then you wouldn't have to see the Thunder or the Nuggets until the conference finals, if you even see them, which I imagine you're going to see one of them, right? Like, yeah, I just don't see anybody else beating the Thunder. But again, I like the matchup on either of them. I'm not going to lie, I'd rather play the Oklahoma City Thunder than the Denver Nuggets just because Jokic, right? He's a problem. Right? And regular season Jokic, we've had some success against, and he's been great. Regular season Jokic and playoff Jokic are 2 very different things, and he's tough, right? I mean, obviously you get to the conference finals, you got to play whoever you got to play. Whatever it is, doesn't matter. You got to play whoever you got to play. But I like the Thunder matchup just because I think the Lakers have the size advantage. And again, their bigs aren't the bigs that are going to punish you on the interior, right? Chet Holmgren's more of a perimeter guy, right? He's a guy that wants to kind of shoot, 15 out, where, Isaiah Hartenstein, as, he's big physical. He likes to, kind of hustle and bang with the big boys, but he's not that like super skilled, back you down, just be ultra good. You just got to box him out and make sure you're accounting for him. He's not a guy that I think can beat you on any given night, right? So I like the matchup either way in those games, but obviously the Lakers, they need to hold up their end of the deal. They need to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do to put themselves in the best position possible and basically lock up that 2 or 3 seed. Also, if the Lakers finish with the 3 seed, I really think JJ Redick deserves coach of the year. Now, the thing is, though, if Houston ends up with the 2 seed, Ime Udoka's probably going to get the coach of the year because Houston, hasn't made the playoffs in 5 years, and they're going to look at it as like, oh, well, LeBron and Luka. Like, I think that there will be that, but you never know. It's Lakers, it's the media, it's JJ Redick, it's his first year as a head coach where Ime Udoka's already had success, been there, done that, with the Boston Celtics. So, he needs to at least be voted in. Right, he at least needs some votes because he's deserved it and warranted. But Lakers, I think, would have to finish top 3, not top 2. But starts with the Warriors, right? Now, look, Lakers have owned the Warriors. Lakers have been great in the Warriors. Lakers essentially ended their dynasty run. But we haven't played this version with Jimmy Butler. Right now, they haven't played this version with Luka, but a lot of the success the Lakers have had against the Warriors is because of Anthony Davis. A lot of the success that the Lakers have had is because they don't have anyone that could check or defend Anthony Davis, right? So it's greatly benefited the Lakers. Well, now you got Luka and Jackson Hayes. Is Jackson Hayes going to be able to have that, good, solid interior game? I do. I mean, he's had good games against the Warriors, right? And he is a legit 7-footer that can run the floor and be a lob threat and stuff. So I do, again, like the matchup. I do think the Lakers should and can win this game. And then you lock that up. Now, again, you get another full game on them, so you don't have to worry about them catching up to you. You got the tiebreakers, all that stuff. You're in excellent shape. And now you're inching closer towards that potential 2 seed against the Houston Rockets. Now, again, 2-3 seed, I'm fine. You're not going to catch the Thunder. Thunder already have the 1 seed locked up. That's a wrap. But you can catch the Houston Rockets. But Lakers have a tough schedule coming up still. They still have the Thunder twice. You have to at least win one of those games, in my opinion. I don't think the Lakers win both. I think, because, again, Thunder are a very good basketball team, and they greatly benefit from the regular season. Like, the way that they like to pace it and their style of play really is a benefit regular season. Playoffs, game slows down a little bit, more half-court sets and actions, right? Like, there's some things that the Thunder are going to have to kind of figure out come playoff time. But you're playing them twice in like a 2-day span. It's hard to beat anybody like that, right? Like, I don't think the Lakers sweep, the Thunder or anything like that in the playoffs. Like, I think that it's a hard-fought series, but I like the matchup, right? Even in these regular season games, I like the matchup. Lakers need to make sure that they're handling business and do what they're supposed to do and at least win one of those 2 games. And then, I'd like to see the Lakers, sweep the board the rest of the way outside of one of those Thunder games, right? Which would also put the Lakers at 52 wins, which was my prediction. But also, I didn't take into account Luka. So as long as they get 50 wins, I think the Lakers will have the 3, at worst, the 4 seed. That's kind of been my, new after Luka. If they can get to 50 wins, I think they'll be a top 4 seed, especially since they have tiebreakers against essentially everybody in the standings. Lakers have owned the West, right? Say what you want about the Lakers. Lakers have owned the Western Conference. They have an excellent record against Western Conference teams. It's the Eastern teams that they've really had struggles with, and even some of the bad teams in the East, which is really odd. But nonetheless, right? Like, Lakers need to handle their business on their end. They control their fate. They control their destiny, right? If they win, what, they have 7 games. If they win 6 out of those 7 or 5 out of those 7, Lakers will be in good shape, right? We won't have the concerns. Lakers will be a top 4 seed at worst. I think we'll probably be a top 3 seed. I really want to win these two games, right? Beat the Warriors, beat the Pelicans. That puts the Lakers in the 3 seed by 2 games, right? Because, again, you got to count tiebreakers. It would only be 1 game in the seeding, but because of tiebreakers, Lakers would have essentially 2 games. Denver would have to win 2 more games the rest of the way. They have a very tough schedule. Lakers have a tough schedule too, but they balance out, right? At that point, Lakers just have to make sure that they don't lose, 3 out of 5 and Nuggets win all 5, right? Like, if the Lakers win that, then they're good, right? Because at that point, there's 5 games left. you win 3 out of those 5, you're in good shape, right? Now Lakers are looking good, even if Denver, as long as Denver doesn't win all 5, which I don't think that they will. They're probably going to continue to rest guys. They're probably going to, I think that they're comfortable with the 4 or 5 seed. I think that they're going to look at it as like, hey, let's just get into the playoffs, get healthy, which is what I've talked about with the Lakers, right? At the end of the day, the only thing I care about is health, right? Whether they're the 5 seed, 6 seed, whatever, just as long as you're in the playoffs, get that week off, and then now you're ready to go and we're healthy. I care less about everything else. Everything else is just a vanity metric, but I would like to get a top 4 seed, have home court in the first round. Lakers have been one of the best home teams in the entire league this season, and they've been excellent in dominating the West this season. I think those 2 things should really help and benefit the Lakers and kind of allow them to work on what they need to work out, figure out whatever they need to figure out for that first round matchup. Move into the second round, and let's start heading in a deep playoff run into the NBA Finals. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? I feel with your thoughts. You excited? Lakers have the 3 seed. Essentially, it's up to them, right? They handle business. They own the 3 seed. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.